After being introduced in the story last patch, one of the 7 generals, Feixiao, is finally here as one of the new 5-star characters from this patch. In this video, I will talk about everything you need to know about Feixiao, how she works, how to build her, who is good with her, everything. So just before the video starts, don't forget to leave your like and your sub. Also, don't forget to follow me on my Twitch. I stream a lot of times there, and you can win free blessings for the games of your choosing by watching and participating on my live streams. I have some other links that may catch your eye, so make sure to give a look on them on the description of this video. Without any furthers, let's now explain Feixiao's kit. Feixiao is a 5-star wind character that follows the path of the hunt and is focused on being a main DPS with the use of her follow-ups and ultimate. On her basic attack, Bolt Thunder, Feixiao deals wind damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single target enemy. When you use her skill, War X, Feixiao deals wind damage equal to percentage of her attack to a single target enemy and immediately launches a follow-up attack against the same target. On her ultimate, Terra Split, Feixiao deals wind damage to a single enemy up to a percentage of her attack. During this time, she can ignore weakness type to reduce the target's toughness, and when the target is not weakness broken, Feixiao's weakness break efficiency increases by 100%. During the attack, Feixiao first launches a total of 6 attacks that will deal wind damage equal to percentage of her attack, and if the target is weakness broken, the damage multiplier of these attacks will increase by a percentage. After the end of these 6 attacks, she will deal wind damage equal to percentage of her attack to the target. On her talent, Thunder Hunt, Feixiao ultimate does not need energy to be activated, and instead can be activated when flying areas reaches 6 points. Feixiao gains 1 point of flying areas for every 2 attacks made by ally targets, and she can accumulate up to 12 points. Feixiao's ultimate attacks do not count towards this number. Additionally, after Feixiao's teammates attack the enemy target, Feixiao immediately launches a follow-up attack against the same target, dealing wind damage equal to percentage of her attack. If there is no primary target available to attack, Feixiao attacks a single random enemy instead. This effect can only trigger once per turn, and the trigger count resets at the start of Feixiao's turn. When using this attack, it will increase the damage dealt by Feixiao's by a percentage, lasting for 2 turns. And for last, on her technique, Stormborn, Feixiao enters the onrush state, lasting for 20 seconds, where she pulls enemies within a certain range and increases her movement speed by 15%. Additionally, after entering battle, gains 1 point of flying Aureus. If she attacks enemies and enters battle while in onrush, she will deal wind damage equal to 200% of her attack to all enemies at the start of each wave, and this damage is guaranteed to crit. If more than one enemy is pulled in, it increases the multiplier of this damage by 100% for each additional enemy pulled in, up to a maximum of 1000%. Now that we know how Feixiao works, it's now time to talk about her traces and priorities to level up. On her minor traces, Feixiao will get a total of 28% attack, 12% crit rate and 12.5% defense, helping her damage and balancing her stats. On her first major trace, Heaven Path, when the battle starts, Feixiao gains 3 points of flying Aureus. Also, at the start of the turn, if no follow-up attack was launched by Feixiao in the previous turn, then this counts as 1 towards the number of attacks required to gain flying Aureus. On her second major trace, Form Shift, when using the ultimate to deal damage to an enemy target, it is considered as a follow-up attack, and her follow-up attack's crit damage increases by 36%. And for last, on her third major trace, Bolt Catch, when using skill, increases attack by 48%, lasting for 3 turns. For her trace priorities, you should focus on your ultimate first, after that your talent, then your skill, and for less your basic attacks. Now let's talk about Feixiao Eidolons for those who wish to make this general reach her best potential. With her E1, after launching her ultimate attacks, additionally increases the ultimate damage dealt by Feixiao by an amount equal to 10% of the original damage, stacking up to 5 times and lasting until the end of the ultimate action. On her E2, in the talents effect, for every 1 instance of follow-up attack launched by ally targets, Feixiao gains 1 point of flying Aureus, and this effect can be triggered up to 6 times per turn. Her E3 increases the level of her ultimate by 2 and the level of her basic attack by 1. With her E4, the follow-up attack has its toughness reduction increased by 100%, and, when it launches, increases Feixiao's speed by 8%, lasting for 2 turns. Her E5 increases the level of her skill and talent by 2, and for last, her E6 increases all type res pen of ultimate damage dealt by Feixiao by 20%, and her talent's follow-up attack damage is considered as ultimate damage at the same time, and its damage multiplier increases by 140%. Now, let's talk about the best relics and planetary ornament sets you could use in your Feixiao. Her best in slot option will be the Wind-Soaring Valorous, thanks to the 12% attack it gives on the 2-piece, and especially thanks to the 6% crit rate and those 36% ultimate damage it provides for one turn after using a follow-up attack on its 4-piece effect. However, since Feixiao ultimate attacks, which are her main source of damage, are considered follow-up attacks, the Ash Blazing Grand Duke will be a set with almost the same performance as her best in slot, since this set will increase your follow-up damage by 20% on its 2-piece, while increasing your attack to a max of 48% depending on the number of follow-up attacks you do before your turn ends. And since her ultimate is a multi-hit combo, you will be able to reach almost max stacks of this passive. And for last, you can always mix and match 2 pieces between the sets that provide damage increase to debuffed enemies, follow-up damage, attack, wind damage, and speed. For planetary ornaments, her best in slot will be the Duran Dynasty of Running Wolves, because this set will increase your follow-up damage by 5% with a max of 5 stacks every time you do a follow-up attack. And when you reach the max stacks, additionally increases your crit damage by 25%. Izumu Gensei and Takama Divine Realm will be another good alternative if you pair Feixiao with another hunt unit, something that will most likely happen, since this set will increase your attack by 12% and your crit rate by also 12% if there is another character in the team with the same pet as you. And for last, Inert Salsoto can be a substitute while you farm for other sets, because it will give you 8% crit rate, and if you have at least 50% crit rate, your ultimate and follow-up damage will be increased by 15%. Now that we know what set to farm, let's now talk about the stats that you will need to be looking for. For the chest, crits, with a preference on crit rate. For the boots, speed or attack. For the sphere, wind damage. And for the rope, attack percent. For the substats, you should focus on crits, speed, attack, and break effect. For Feixiao Lightcones, her best in slot will be her signature I Venture Forth to Hunt, which will increase your crit rate by 15% and give you up to 2 stacks that allow your ultimate damage to ignore 27% of the enemy's defense when you launch a follow-up attack. And when your turn ends, it removes 1 stack. Her second best option will be Dr. Ratio signature Baptism of Pure Thought, which will increase your crit damage by 20% and will further increase your attack's crit damage by 8% up to 3 stacks for every debuff the enemy has. Additionally, for the next 2 turns after using an ultimate to attack an enemy, your damage dealt will be increased by 36% and your follow-up attacks will ignore 24% of the target's defense. Her best F2P option will be the Artishop Lightcone Cruising in Stellar Sea, which will increase your crit rate by 8% and also by an extra 8% if you are against enemies with 50% or less HP. Additionally, after defeating an enemy, your attack will be increased by 20% for 2 turns. And keep in mind that this is totally a free-to-play Lightcone, and if you play Simulated Universe, you will be able to R5 it with time, improving even more the attack and crit rate it gives you. Your best 4-star option will be Sword's Play, which will increase your damage by 8% with a max of 5 stacks for each time you attack the same target, perfectly synergizing with her kit. And for last, if you are extremely unlucky with your Lightcones, or if you already have users for them, you can always end up using Final Victor, since her ultimate multi-hits will be able to increase your crit damage. For Feixiao teams, she will want to be played in similar compositions to the ones we already do for follow-up teams. So here are some options. For a hyper carry team, pair her with Topaz or Mose, Robin, and Aventurine. For a pure fiction team, pair her with Topaz or Jade, Robin, and Aventurine. For a triple DPS team, pair her with Topaz, Mose or March, and Aventurine. For a Bronya team instead of Robin, pair her with March 7, Bronya, and Aventurine or Gallagher. And for a super break team, pair her with Harmony MC, Runmei, and Gallagher. Just don't forget you don't need to do these exact teams. You always have other characters that have similar functions with the ones I talked about. And if you have some teams that didn't appear here and you want to share them, leave your favorite teams down on the comments for all of us to give it a look. So, what's your opinion about Feixiao? Is she a valuable pull for your account? What do you think about her? I hope with this video, you are now able to understand how she works and how you should build her. Share this video with everyone you know that got her or is still thinking about getting her. If you ended up liking this guide, don't forget to leave your like and your sub. Also, I stream a lot on Twitch and you are able to win some blessings there, so make sure to give it a look. A special thanks to my members for trying to support me, and thank you so much for keeping me company. Have an amazing day everyone, and good luck on your pulls.